Principle 2, the principle of well-being. Release yourself from the need for apology and gratitude. No one owes you an apology for harm done you or gratitude for the good you did to them. No one goes through life without being hurt by another. Generally, you are taught that it is natural to expect those who have hurt you to come clean by accepting their fault, apologizing, and seeking your forgiveness. You will then have the prerogative to offer them forgiveness or not to do so. You, therefore, carry the burden of the hurts done to you. When you scan your mind, you will find many people who must seek your forgiveness. You will also find those you expect to need you someday in the future. The only reason you expect them to need you is that you expect them to atone in some way for some harm done to you. Even if you are ready to forgive, the truth is that it may take very long time for many to realize their errors and seek forgiveness. These expectations keep you in the prison of vengeance. How do you feel when you think of people who have done you wrong and have not bothered to apologize? The memory of harm done to you gives you bad feelings and generates painful thoughts in you. These bad feelings and thoughts alone are responsible for many physical and emotional ills you may suffer. The need for apology keeps you a prisoner to the pain caused you or you believed or imagined had been caused you. It is an unnecessary suffering. The need for apology. There is a subtle yet powerful force that keeps you prisoner to the hurts you believe have been done to you. It is that you are taught to expect apology as a prerequisite for forgiveness. As a child, when you did something wrong, you were routinely required to apologize to regain your parents' favor. Over time, you concluded that those who offend you must apologize to regain your favor. These unnatural conclusions make you wait for an apology that most of the time never comes or delays in coming. And while waiting, you are in the prison of pain. Unsuspecting, you and the world have yielded to this teaching or suggestion that you need an apology. This is an unnatural and unworkable principle to live by. It succeeds in keeping you a prisoner to pain. The truth is that no one owes you apology for any harm done to you. Everybody's action or inaction that caused you hurt stemmed from limited knowledge and experience, and that has a long history. Their perceived wrong attitudes were not pre-designed to cause you hurt. A person's action or inaction stems from who their parents are, where they were conceived, their upbringing and early environment, the schools they attended, the religious body or philosophy they grew up with, the friends they grew up with, and the list goes on. You cannot do yourself the injustice of carrying the responsibility of people's errors. People will continue to do wrong. It is you who must design strategies and attitudes for handling wrongdoings. You cannot stop people from doing painful things, but it is up to you to decide what you want to feel about what people do. Almost all of the harm done to you was unintentional. This natural realization will change your attitude toward those you consider to have hurt you. Think of the number of times you have hurt someone, even though you did not intend to. Most things you considered hurt or harm done to you stemmed from your own interpretations and expectations. The bad feelings you have from people's actions or inactions were generated in you by you. You cannot, therefore, blame anyone for the bad feelings that reduce your power. You have the power to handle whatever is inside you, and certainly you can change the feelings you have by changing your expectations and interpretations. There are millions of interpretations to an event. Choose interpretations that honor you and bring you joy. A victim of rape transcended her pain when she chose to think of the rapist as a child of God. Most rapists are mentally imbalanced, needing treatment. A person does not lose his God identity just because he is ill. The woman relived the experience, looking into the eyes of the rapist and saying to herself, "He is a child of God." You cannot live without interpretation and expectations. You must, however, be responsible for the feelings they bring you. When you take responsibility for the feelings your expectations and interpretation bring to you, you will be in charge of your response to life, and you will have inner peace. There are others who live with their pain, feeling and believing that life owes them an apology for the hurts they have experienced. They live waiting to be compensated by life for what has been destroyed in their life experiences. What in life is to compensate you, the air, the sky, the earth, or what? Life is not conscious of any harm you have experienced. You are on your own authentic journey, using all that life has provided for your highest good. The scripture said, "All things work for the good of those who trust in God." All things include good and bad ones. You are to use all for your authentic good. All people are doing the best they know, based on their limited knowledge, experience, and human weakness. What you choose to feel about other people's actions or inactions is your choice. A thief steals due to his human weakness of fear that there is not enough to go around. It hurts when you are robbed, but when you meet the hurt feeling with your God attitude, it dissolves. Two people each go through a discomforting event. One comes out of it emotionally battered while the other person comes out of it unscratched. The one who felt very injured is injured by her own expectations and interpretations, which come from her past. Good or bad are not in events, they are in the minds of people. Making it worse, you carry the guilt for harm you have done to others through your lack of knowledge. Others trap you by making you feel responsible for their bad feelings. You do not owe anyone for his or her bad feelings. Do not succumb to emotional blackmail. If you realize an error that has caused someone harm, you have increased your degree of enlightenment. You owe it to yourself to apologize to the person. It is the act of giving firm rooting to the new knowledge that made you realize the mistake. A mistake realized is knowledge gained. By ignoring the need to apologize, you corrupt the seed of the new knowledge and may not be able to grow it into richer experience. No one owes you apology for any harm done to you. People owe it to themselves to apologize when they realize their mistakes. In the same way that it takes some people a long time to see where they went wrong when working with a mathematics equation, it may take people who have hurt you a long time to realize they have caused you pain. Holding on to the pain is like putting your hand in fire or drinking poison and expecting those who have hurt you to suffer. As a child, functioning from your limited knowledge and experience, you did many wrong things. Today, you forgive those past errors. You do not ask your past actions or inactions to come and apologize. Similarly, though in adult bodies, others are in their infantile and childhood stages in life and may act from their limited knowledge and experience. Choose to forgive them as you did to your own past wrongdoings. There are also people who, for fear of hurting someone, live a life of cautious isolation. Eventually, they cause harm to many and are overwhelmed when they find out that they have hurt someone. It is impossible to live a life without hurting anyone. People are entitled to their own expectations and interpretations. Your innocent, well-intentioned action or inaction may be interpreted through the eyes of these people's own pain, leading them to conclude that you have hurt them. It is normal for such to happen. Your cautious attitude of not wanting to hurt anyone will blind you to subtle details in your actions and inactions that are erroneous, and you may unconsciously cause genuine harm to many. A useful way is to live with genuine intention for the good of all, and then to lose yourself in action, trusting the best possible outcome. When you live this way, you will be in a state of mind to own up to error and to correct it immediately. This is life. Be part of its wonderful drama. Apologize graciously. The drive for heroism makes many people blind themselves to the wrongs they commit. They will go to any extent to rationalize and justify themselves even when the facts stare them in the face. Waiting for apology from such people is a waste of time, and you remain in prison. It is noble to recognize your errors and apologize readily and graciously when you realize you are wrong. Many consider being wrong as shameful, so they resist owning up to it. To be wrong is normal and natural. When you disown the error, you disown the learning also, and that shuts your door to the fountain of knowledge and wisdom. You thus deny yourself the good of the universe. To own up to error is an admission of wrongdoing. When as a child you did something wrong, you were punished and you lost favor. You felt blacklisted and placed in the bad books of somebody. You felt the whole world was screaming at you and labeling you a wrongdoer. Who would want that to happen? Something inside you may accept that you did wrong, but rejects the label of a wrongdoer. Ever since you felt labeled in that way, you resist owning up to errors and fight to escape anything that has to do with your being a wrongdoer. So you are constantly running away from errors you committed. By running away from your errors, your mind is focused on them, and, in accordance with the law of the mind, you attract what you focus on. Thus, you go through repeated mistakes. What a waste. To apologize for wrongdoing is a sign of growth and maturity, and nature is about growth. Apologizing is an admission that you are willing to learn, that you have learned and are ready to be more. By the admission of your errors, you are simply saying that you are wiser today than you have ever been. Admitting you made an error does not throw you into jail. It is the denial of error that makes you repeat errors until you end up in jail. And contrary to what you may think, when you admit your error, you are respected. The other person feels you are gracious and can be trusted. On the other hand, in the course of denial of error, you may pretend in your feelings and actions. However, in your mind, you know the truth. With the truth staring you in the face, you begin to quarrel and fight with yourself, and thus waste valuable mental energy that could be used for progress. There are many who have run away from their errors for so long that these people make the lie their truth and are thus partially or completely numb to their wrongdoings. At the extreme, they become insensitive to all wrongdoing. Everything in life was once a mistake. New inventions of products are simply attempts to correct errors in the precious ones. Even software designed by the computer giants comes with lots of bugs that are constantly being fixed. Error is natural. It adds to the excitement of life. Owning up to error is the only way of lifting yourself above the error. When you refuse to own up to your errors, you remain a constant wrongdoer in your mind. Your errors do not make you less. It is noble to accept them and to use the magic statement, "I am sorry." That statement heals the wounds of the offended, lifts your vision to a wealth of greater possibilities, and wins you allies for growth. The need for gratitude. Not only do you carry the burden of harms done to you, you also carry the burden of gratitude denied to you. When people do not show the gratitude you believe they should show for the good you have done for them, how do you feel, and what decisions do you make as a result? Think of the attitudes you have cultivated as a result of people's failure to express gratitude to you. Most of these attitudes do not reflect your true nature. The need for the gratitude that has been denied you makes you not want to do good for anyone, so you stop yourself from doing and being the good you are. When you stop yourself from doing good, you block the flow of divine goodness through you. The good that flows through you blesses you, and you must not stop it. To stop it is to stop the expression of your greatness. Blocking it is the unnecessary wreaking of vengeance on yourself for the slow growth of another person. Many people are grateful, but only a few know how to show it. Some show it, but due to cultural or social differences, they either do not show it the way you are accustomed to, or you are not appreciative of their way of showing gratitude. To reclaim yourself, consider that if all of the people who should have shown you gratitude had done so, what sort of person would you be? Step into that person now, for it is your true nature. In any case, when people give you the expected gratitude, you have earned your reward. When the good you did is not compensated by a show of gratitude, you are open to the universe to show you that gratitude, and that increases the magnitude of the blessing. People owe it to themselves to be grateful for the good you do for them. They will feel good, healed, and complete if they do. You have no business demanding them to show you gratitude. Your business is to do the good you know to do, and that's all there is to it. You owe it to yourself to be grateful and to realize where you have failed to do so, then to make amends and offer gratitude, breaking the vessel of pain. The practice of this principle alone will bring you great freedom and unleash your potentialities. At this point, allow your eyes to close and say, "No one owes me an apology for any harm done to me." Repeat this statement a few times. You can see in your mind's eye all of the people to whom this applies. You can feel the release. Through doing this practice, forgiveness is granted. No one owes you an apology for harm done you or gratitude for the good you did for them. If God were expecting your apology or gratitude for every next move, imagine the chaos that would happen. Many people are trapped in the spirit of vengeance for too long. To need apology or gratitude is a vengeance drive. The vengeance drive wants people who have hurt you to come to you feeling sorry or begging for your forgiveness. Then you will have the prerogative to give forgiveness to them or deny it to them. The vengeance drive also wants people you have helped and who have not shown gratitude to be in need someday and to come to you for help, so you will have a chance to obtain the gratitude you are waiting for. These opportunities may take a long time in coming. Meanwhile, you are in the prison of stored pain. Similarly, you do not owe anyone an apology for the harm you may have done or gratitude for the good done to you. You owe it to yourself to outgrow human weaknesses that cause confusion and harm to others. You owe it to yourself to be appreciative of the good that comes to you. The moment you recognize the harm you have done to someone and make amends is a moment of learning and growth. What you are grateful for and appreciate increases and crystallizes for you. The gratitude you show to people opens you to more goodness. Have God attitudes or philosophies for living. One I use for myself is, let my heart be broken by the things that break the heart of God. Recovering lost mental energy. Every move starts with a thought. We are moved by conscious thoughts or pre-programmed reflex thoughts. In conscious thought, you think then act that thought. In reflex thought, you instinctively move away as if from a hot iron. The greater part of your life is managed by pre-programmed reflex thoughts. For example, 90% of the entire functioning of your body is through pre-programmed reflex thought. The pumping of blood by the heart, the purification system of the kidneys, the seeing of color by the eyes, etc., are all regulated by pre-programmed reflex thought. The force of pre-programmed reflex thought is so strong that it pushes its way into areas where conscious inputs are necessary. Pre-programmed reflex thought is intelligent, unconscious activity. If it is allowed to take over the thinking processes of the conscious mind, the individual lives a life of unconsciousness. His or her actions are involuntary responses to external stimuli and are controlled by the environment, much in the way that an unconscious organism functions. Little though your conscious inputs might be, they are responsible for how the large energy field of pre-programmed reflex thought serves your life. By needing apology from people who have hurt you and gratitude from those for whom you have done good, you reduce your mental field to a quarreling playground, and finally you lose possession of it. Quarreling thoughts cause stress and stress-related diseases. They waste your mental and emotional energies, and they drain you. Conscious recovery. Calculate how much conscious thought you possess, and you will be inspired to increase it. Here is a simple probe to help you with this calculation. How much of your mental time do you spend in quarreling? Quarreling thoughts include all the people you are arguing with and complaining about in your mind. From the responses to the above probe, you will realize you have been and are wasting vast stocks of mental energy that may be used for something more creative or valuable. Other probes are: how much of your internal conversations are you in charge of? How much of your thoughts are solution-oriented or just wandering thoughts? A conscious input into your thought processes will demand that the thoughts produce conclusive results or solutions. When your thoughts are so directed, you will soon realize that solutions come to you fast and easy, and that you have time to create future good. When the mind gets you into wandering quarrels, pause and ask yourself, what solution is there to this problem? Or what good do I want to experience out of this? Soon your mind will begin to birth solutions. It will begin to hear your voice and obey your will. When it cannot hear your voice, you cannot exercise your will over the external. Observe your thoughts. You are either in unnecessary mental quarrels and arguments or in solution and creative thoughts. Mental arguments and quarrels can result in accidents and disease. Many times when you have bitten your tongue, you were involved in mental arguments and quarrels. Freedom from the trap of the need for apology and gratitude. 1. Allow your eyes to close and make this statement several times. No one owes me an apology for any wrong done to me. Everyone did what they knew based on their limited knowledge and experience. You may substitute this statement with any that inspired you when you read through this principle. 2. As you make the statement, listen to your life and notice what past events this is addressing. 3. When you find an event that this statement is addressing, locate yourself at the beginning of that event. To be sure you are in that event, notice what you are seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and feeling. While in that event, make the statement several times. Look into the faces of the person or persons involved and make the statement. 4. Do steps 1 to 3 several times, allowing the process to address other CUDs or to stimulate abilities. 5. Repeat steps 1 to 3, this time with the statement, "No one owes me gratitude for the good I have ever done. I was not forced to do that good. It is my true nature to do that good and to continue to do it." Lessons on the principle of apology and gratitude. 1. You do not owe anyone an apology. You owe it to yourself to recognize your errors and make amends. 2. You do not owe anyone gratitude. You owe it to yourself to show gratitude. What you are grateful for and appreciate increases and crystallizes for you.
3. Your pains are mostly caused by your expectations and interpretations of events.
4. Expecting gratitude stops you from expressing the loveliness and beauty you are, and this robs you from the gift you are to yourself. Benefits of Principle 2. 1. You are free from all injuries you believed people caused you. Thus, you can love your past and embrace the moment. 2. You are free from the prison of guilt. 3. You do not see errors to forgive, so you are always clean in mind and feeling.